Abusia Councillor Lutrot abebiem the strong one ne pa de ama AbusuaPanin tupa kwa tutubi de ama odo Broni ni nyina abase Councillor Lutrot ejira naso esi supi esita se odo Broni enye adwumada. After that enya dia AbusuaPanin tupa enya akonya ekonkoten ekosie dad Lumba ewo East Leguana se enkran that Lumba efie biemu. There is no way say a betimi ahape sa nemum no o keke esisudua say ekwan biaso no ewose AbusuaPanin tupak kire babia osi delete that Lumba ebusua ansem no ano eden asem na eclectica na asem no asanya agita dia M&B Express Logistics say yen kancho say edutama ewose woto kasia efo esaye papa na ni nyina no bromo aso esanse okọ Canada abusua cars na F wo ho papa nanso amanfo ekoto efri ho e de bagana na price no omoye no board tenten M&B say sisia no o check sika de beto e wo Ghana ha no na de compare Canada de na e beto mienu miensa enan including shipping fee any duties nyina ndi abusua umpewe na pede nti contact M&B na mo start enye business ebeboa wankasa ama de ohwehwe bia no wonsa etimi aka yenya konya na Councillor Lutrot ne strong message awato e de ama AbusuaPanin tupak se enei enya de wasie dad Lumba ewo enkra ha no enye no kle no yenko tiemra afenso no gamanche emfa ne nan ensi from pa na onto strong message emfama AbusuaPanin tupak asem no enya agita
yankoti ne bokoa enyantokwa. But traditionally no Ghanaian Mantse yewura there are some things we have to learn.
Okay.
Traditionally our there edinto any year yo one of the significance of a year you want to say ye ni pani year di akoba bi a yenko hodabo encrophobia di kind and say year yo no.
Okay.
So there are things we don't put on you when we are burying you. Obi a wako baby ayem the can falling for guarantee enko hoda. Omon for watch enko hoda. Omon for godi enko hoda no. Udi sie na ye be san naba. It is a oko near see ye shana daka ye katano soa. Most of the things you see that was used to dress them, they take it off.
Oh,
they can't go with it.
Chains in your money.
No, they can't go with it. It's just for decoration. When they finish, they take it off. So more crown for now, mobile years in here, decorate your binia, go there. When say the go see them, go to phone. Moon say the amamani money a one chest, baby or konya koda. And ye will never be a crown phone famba. It will never be a before famba, santi phone famba. What did them can I say? It will be a daddy benkum suno or hinia or hinia. Ya de done it na a kunyemu. What must say? Wa one year son, ya nyosada. What I say? Eti yensia. Adia bakunsu a dance from Kuma and say, and na esu hiayen. The tomb is very essential to us in our tradition. Tombs are very essential. It's memorable to us because we do visitation of the tomb first year to appease the gods for taking away short time of death from us. So when anybody is buried, and traditionally we don't know where the person is buried. So, but are you aware that if a husband loses a wife, the husband doesn't go to the graveyard?
Why?
Because traditionally he's supposed to sit for them to do the burial and bring him back information, bring the family back information.
He doesn't.
You don't bury your wife. It's the family that buries a wife. Yes. That's what the tradition is. Same like a wife too as well. So a widow's last time with the husband is where your friend called them near man and any do who baby is seen nim kosi emrea or no ebe wie kuna you oni ani na ko na no so.
Okay.
It is a na eni hwa yentumi wi amamre ne ma no. Based on this traditional explanation, I'm asking the family of the late daddy Lumba, they should be careful if they cannot direct us to where the tomb is.
Why are you issuing this caveat?
Because the wife of the late Daddy Lumba, Mrs. Akosa Sewafusu, has the right to know where the tomb is to perform certain rituals because this man was with her as a husband.
Are you not conflicting yourself? Because we say the last moment a widow spends with the deceased husband, a time yadidana yaye amamre amana we free ho.
Thank you. And then the next one is and the next one is to visit the tomb
after the widowhood rite.
No, I see the next thing is to visit the tomb
after widowhood rite.
And the widowhood rite is done by who? And I explained to you
the widow.
Who is the widow? And what's the purpose of the rite? Currently, what we are doing traditionally, the purpose of the rite has been abused. I will explain later when I have time. Widowhood rite is just because only obane da demo sebio ya adwene se uda benkum sune bia ne ho dan enti na be ma nya widowhood rite no obane ho dan ne ma no bosom nkuru nya hwe se ne efu pia na ne ye de hye enti ebi ni osa ye ja ne sa bosom nkuru akwa 20 ne okura. There's nothing again about it. Sasa ne de ken nyina those are spiritism, but we will not get there. But me ka say the tomb is essential. And I say but wonim say between me and you ye nim pa say ye gi burial permit ye chair baby ye nsie emu no enti ene ye fa burial permit we should be able to locate where the dead body was buried. If cremated, we should know where the cremation was done. So nobody can take a permit to bury anybody, take a permit in Accra to bury in Kumasi.
Yeah. Local authorities in Edema.
Is there AMA in Edema? So as a Lumba's funeral was contracted or conducted in Kumasi Park and was moved at that time, and nobody knows whether how swift with an helicopter they brought the body back to Accra to bury. Lumba can never be buried in his house in any of the houses in Accra.
What if they obtain permits?
It can never be given.
People bury
people bury. Tell me one man you know that was buried in their house in Accra. There's two. Accra lands are two lands. They are spiritual lands. So we reject the dead. Not strangers. Look, we are too accommodating to the extent that you know that Chihines too, with all the rituals, is in Accra. It's only us that have released that permission for. So you cannot bury anybody in your house. So that insinuations.
Or Chihines too.
Oh yes.
Is in Adabraka.
Yes, it's in Accra. Oh yes, traditionally.
That's new.
It's Ghana man. It's in Rechemo.
Yeah.
And see. But in crime for us, na ye wadi to me. And local authority man can say, council to a 50 acres into CN Wofianum. No. She will not agree. So that insinuation say, and California, see that Lumba were easily go. And when you fear those things, no. Can we know where the tomb is to go and visit the tomb? And some more, the amount of money we are losing with the market, Ghana market, Jackson, Lumba, Charlie. And Kola 6 hour wono. Omi and Kola under the law, they're supposed to be taking care of who. It may more being a selfish interest for now. But look at the future of Inkolana Wejaro. Now be you see a Lumba no. Proper monumental remembrance, something to get money for the family. Other Broni, onye juma da. She has
that's not fair to say onye juma.
She has no record of an employment exactly when she met Lumba. Let me finish my statement. As a young girl, she was working as a hospital oddly per the records. In a hospital, she met Lumba. When Lumba brought her and granted her to zero, make her baby mama in the house, she didn't have anything she was doing that she can boast and say, this is mine. So now that this man is gone,
how do you know that? How do you know that?
Now that this man is gone.
Yeah, but how do you know that?
I'm saying that based on their own assertion and language. We're here when they said Lumba got to a point where things were not going down well till people came to support. I don't want to mention their names. So, on June year said, dear Kosono, sa nyama yeja monumental things a yebeja isebo, and ebe buankola ni shemu. Eya yen dwenko ho. Hona meme dwenko. Se akwala no hwem kafra enkwala no hwem ti o ese e japan ene mu so ya kotwa Lumba fie cars nya this are the cars of me say won ara wani huye we ya ko video Lumba fie
na me pese ma dwen because e bia na enye nokre
na me ka say dear cars what ya ko ton na ko eden ye careful and AbusuaPanin show where the body was where the tomb is per the permit you took. And you know it's easy for us to check.
Yeah. So they be out.
Yeah. And then make a check for say yeah, see Lumba. Say I'm passing we go see Lumba or easily on. Who assume the body and then take them to court to charge them.
You exhume the body and
Yes. When bodies are buried in wrong places by law, you should assume it because of
koje permit to how could see no.
Yeah, because e wo ehun sunsun so ya de ni nyame ba so ni unim sa. They say yes e mu no bia any spiritual implication keke o. But e mu no sat say decay a e de yale bi to me ba. Yenka say owufo no wo yale o ba owufo obi obewu bia no wura asase ase na onya that combination na e wo ehun nyame de ba nti wa wo fie see emusie kra no. You have a lot of nyama bi see e che obi a wo fie see emusie. But the first question is that one e beto hwan e beto emusie nipa e beto emusie e beto nipa. Those questions. Ghana man tradition is very important. Mantse say agrada aba enya hwe. So aba. Emra na yi ne mebo a. Yama agrada akwa aba. Video no be a fedie. Mama bo say man sia ma no. Say den.
Yeah, why are there?
Agrada sorry dan hu nye say da. Agrada banka esia ma bebre.
Sasem na aka no. Nze de bia me ne onya adwen.
Because esia ma has nothing to offer.
Why do you say that? Do you know him personally?
Yes.
Hey,
what's A for? A for apple.
Who name the personally?
B for people.
You don't know the man personally.
C for clit. And to which you say, Agrada banker, Esiama, no better.
Maybe I know any business we was side.
Business is paying Agrada, I can't say Esiama.
Yes, I ain't nana odi tuja.
I
oh boy.
Back up on infant tuja.
So what reason in your own friend?
Debbie, Zabak need to jar, where woman your girls view, and no pension infant tuja. But the American say, she are sorry, Dino. Oh. And she said, Esiamania Jessa Gradaba, and you be and you. Nebreso.
You don't believe he was loyal?
Loyal? Yes. To who?
To her.
In what way?
Why are there? What Gina Nechi?
Nah, loyal in what way?
So with Gina Maminechi.
Eh, what menzo? Lawyer. Ese my lawyer.
I say obe facilitate.
Nisika de lawyer.
Nisika me no ye nim.
Enye Nisika only be. Oh
no, let's not look down on him because.
So be look down on him. Why do you want to put the guy in a place where a grad will funu apamano? Then I know. I want so say nyekota wade. So say if you wade. So ni.
Minimum ma ware ni.
Me ma wo details so ni minimum. Ena if you no mutim no be to say a grad aye. Agrada ni kunu dada na yes. Sa case yen wie. Alimony distribution has not been completed. And so as Yama was a ekunu. What should be di?
I thought that when me because me feel
it's a feeling. Once it's a feeling, I'll listen to it. A feeling. People who are feeling, you need to take ginger. It's feeling.
Baby, I say tia break, tia break.
Why do you call it a break?
Yeah, because me no me na ye nim ne ekoso.
Na me no ne akasa na me nkona me kasa na utie. Because I know me na ye
but we don't know what's going on.
I know. That's what I'm saying. What I know.
You know when you are not there.
Why don't you know? Because you don't want to know. I want to know because it's important to me. Esiama obo some money for what? Why then?
To my man for applaud.
Then na why ye? Mama ade baako na yen ko sorry no so. Then they say my baako.
Being faithful.
What do you call faithfulness? For being foolish or faithful?
Hey.
Story now.
You cried the meaning say bit my story now in 3 minutes. All right, in 3 minutes. Yen fast story no ento so na yenko. We are by be your patch say the subai be